year 2022 has been nothing short of drama-filled from every corner in Nigeria. From the price of presidential nomination forms, the Electoral Act's amendment, to the lingering insecurity issue that is plaguing some parts of the country. Another conversation is that of zoning and the zone that will produce the next president. It's been one of the discussions topping the agenda in Nigeria today. The two major political parties are now faced with a dilemma of which zone gets their presidential ticket. Joining us on the show this morning as we discuss all the ongoing issues in Nigeria is Obong Victor Attah, former Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. Well, very quickly, what do you think of the development in the political space with the fact that it looks like the race has been thrown open by the two major political parties? Somehow, both political parties are not talking about zoning to any specific part of the country, contrary to the expectations of Southerners in particular.
Well, it's unfortunate that this issue of zoning has generated so much controversy. And I've read a lot. And in the process, I noticed something that was said by one of the very prominent and award-winning governors in the North, who said that alternating the presidency between the North and the South is no longer a matter of convention, but it has become a covenant. And I agree with that totally. And that's why we in PANDEF said we will not support any party that does not zone its presidency to the South. And I think we stand by that till now. Now that they've thrown the thing open, let us see who emerges. If by whatever means Southern candidates emerge, fine. We'll be quite happy to support one of those that we feel can lead this country properly. But you see, this zoning thing is just a product of an unfortunate system that we run. There wasn't any zoning when Tafawa Balewa became the Prime Minister of Nigeria. It was a product of an arrangement and an agreement, and he emerged. He didn't have anything close to the majority number of seats in the assembly at the time. I think it was NCNC that was leading by far, followed by Action Group led by Awolowo, and his party came a distant third, but he became the Prime Minister, and there was no zoning. So these are controversies that have come up because of a dysfunctional system that we've adopted in Nigeria. I think what we need is a complete system change, and if we have that, some of these controversies will just go away. That's the way I feel about it.
So can you chart a path, sir, out of the dysfunction? How will that system change be effected? Before the elections, after the elections, what constitutional amendment, what format are you thinking?
There is very little anybody can do between now and the election. But we want to advise, counsel, and perhaps warn the next assembly that everybody has agreed that Nigeria cannot continue as it is now. So when they come in, they should come in with a complete different mindset that they are going to change the circumstances of Nigeria. And the change must be a complete and total change of system. Let's look at what Gorbachev did. Remember what he said about Glasnost and Perestroika? That's what we need in Nigeria. If we don't have a complete system change, well, the system could break down. So we wait and see, as I said earlier, we wait and see who in fact emerge from the different parties. And we take it from there.
Sir, I asked this question before, but I'll ask you again. Is it that the South has been outplayed in all of this?
The South, sorry, the question is the South that is outplayed?
Has the South been outplayed in all of this?
I didn't quite get the question.
That's the question. Has the South been outplayed in all of this?
I don't know what that means, because there are some very prominent Igbo people marching in the streets of Igbo states for supporting northern candidates. There are some very prominent Southerners who are rooting for Northerners. So who is the play? It's not. There's no clear line of play. There's no rules, and that's why we say Nigeria is dysfunctional.
Sir,
and we have to change it.
Sir, let me probably show you the clear lines why I think the South has been played in all of this. Look at the APC. Last minute now, you're having strong northern candidates coming to the fray in the APC. The Senate president has emerged, some other strong northern candidates. The APC has not said anything about zoning. A lot of people say the body language might tilt to the north if the PDP presents a northern candidate. The PDP that we thought was going to zone power to the south, the southern governors sometime last year met and they said power should be zoned to the south. That was the zeitgeist of the PDP, but all of a sudden now the PDP is keeping it open. A lot of people feel the PDP keeping it open is an indication that it's automatically zoned power to the north. Has the south been played in all of this?
I asked you a question. Who is sponsoring, let's be specific now and call names. Who is sponsoring Lawan for the presidency? A very prominent Igbo senator is sponsoring him. So that's why I say you cannot say the South have been outplayed or the North have been outplayed. There just are no rules with the system we have now and the characters that we have operating the system. We don't have any. If there was, then we would have had what we had before. And I repeat what I said. Tafawa Balewa didn't come about by way of zoning or anything. It came about with quiet negotiation and an arrangement that threw up the person that they saw at the time would be best to lead Nigeria. We need to go back to that system.
Sir, two of your successors in Akwa Ibom State have shown interest. Incumbent Governor Udom Emmanuel says he's responding to calls by people who have said he's a fit and proper person for that position. Also, Senator Godswill Akpabio is also interested. These are your successors in Akwa Ibom State. What do you think of their ambition as an elder statesman in that constituency?
Let me say this. It is unfortunate, again, I have to keep repeating myself, about this issue of system. Look at the situation in which somebody like Udom Emmanuel, Godswill Akpabio, Wike from the south, and all the other people from the west, the people from the north, going into an assembly. Do you know what vibrant assembly that would be? Do you know what ideas would come out to develop Nigeria from such an assembly? But today, because of the winner-takes-all syndrome and system that we operate, only one of them can be president, then all the others fall away, which is very unfortunate. If we had a parliamentary system today, all of them would be in the parliament. They would be heading various ministries, developing Nigeria, doing something good for Nigeria. And that's why I think it is very sad that we are wasting our talents by creating a situation in which only one person can emerge, and when that person emerges, he becomes a totalitarian ruler. It is very sad, very unfortunate. And Nigeria must see that and agree that it must change.
Well, I wanted you to also comment on their capacity, beyond their ambition and their right under the Constitution to aspire to be anything.
How do you judge capacity before somebody gets into a position?
No, based on their performance.
He has to go there. There are so many people today saying we lament that we voted for Buhari because we had a different concept of the Buhari that we were voting for, his capacity, his integrity, his this, that, and the other. But today we are disappointed. That's why I asked you the question. How do you judge capacity before somebody gets into a position?
Well, some of the aspirants have been saying, I've been governor in this state, I've been a two-time governor, and I did this, I did that in my state. Almost all the former governors, that's what they are saying. Even the incumbent governors, that's what they are saying. That's why I asked the question about capacity, at least from your own place, where you know the characters very well.
Yeah, we are not blind. We can say, yeah, he says he did this, but we know he didn't. Or he didn't even mention some of the things he did in certain instances. Yes, we can judge to a certain extent. But given a different level of performance, you can't know until the person gets there.
We really can't. You've talked about such a fundamental
But if you want me to talk about my current governor, yes, I believe he can make a very good president for this country. To be honest with you, Udom Emmanuel can make a very good president for this country. There's no denying that fact.
Why, sir? Why do you have that belief?
Because of his antecedents, because of what he's been able to do in Akwa Ibom, and because of his background. I can judge his competence.
Okay. So you keep positing this sort of perestroika model, and you keep saying this winner takes it all mentality. But, sir, isn't that the case in every part of the world? Because even for every perestroika, there was a Gorbachev, there was a Khrushchev. There's still one man that will have to go to the, what do they call it now, the kitchen debates. There's still a man that leads. There's still that center figure. And that's what's just happening in this race.
There will always be a leader if there is a group situation, an ordered group situation. But that leader must not become a total dictator or somebody you cannot even say anything bad about except in whispers and behind his back. Look at what happened in Britain. A prime minister was sent away because they didn't think he was performing well. Quietly, he went. Look at what happened in America. A president was impeached but didn't have to leave office because Senate didn't approve. That's why, let me be very specific now, the presidential system is not suitable for Nigeria. A parliamentary system would do much better. There will always be a leader. But Tafawa Balewa did not go there to do what he wanted to do. He didn't decide this is what I must do and nobody can challenge me. He went there because as a compromise and as an arrangement, he was going to do the will of the people who put him there. And those people were truly elected from their various communities. They were true community representatives. Today, tell me, this man is buying form because the president asked him to buy form. That one is buying form because that other group of people asked him to buy form or bought form for him. Nobody considers the electorate. So is the electorate being represented in that kind of a parliament? While last, if you go to a parliamentary system, come to my community, ask me to bring out who I want to lead, we will all get together and bring him out. That is the beauty of the parliamentary system. And all this money, 100 million, whatever, doesn't happen.
You have been a strong advocate of restructuring, and you are recommending a parliamentary system of government. Would a parliamentary system of government address all those issues that you've talked about restructuring? Is it like a magic bullet that will address the challenge of restructuring?
Believe me well. Believe me, today we are trying to bring in certain aspects of restructuring through the piecemeal back window or back door, or whatever you want to call it. Today we think, oh, we were wrong about centralizing police. We should go back to state police. Part of restructuring. We were wrong about this. We should go back to that. Part of restructuring. Why not just restructure comprehensively, once and for all, and let it end?
So do you think the political will exists to do that? Even as we're on the verge of a new administration, a lot of the names that have been mentioned are names that have come up through this, current system that has created them and has benefited them. Do you see them throwing that away?
No, I don't. That's why I said, as a matter of fact, somebody, very interesting to you made me remember something. Somebody said that the bad elements that spoiled PDP have now gone over and are now spoiling APC. So I just thought I'd throw that out. But that's not the point of the question. The point I'm making, if you remember what I said earlier, I said we are counseling, we are pleading, and we're even giving notice and warning. The next assembly that comes, they must come with a different mindset. If they come with that previous mindset, they'll face a public that is not prepared to tolerate it any longer. That is the truth. They must agree to change the scenario. They must agree to change the system and get us a system that works, a system that will be inclusive, a system against which we will not be complaining about marginalization and polarization. Can you imagine somebody saying to the vice president, go and campaign in Ogun State, you are from Ogun State, you are not even from the West anymore. You are from Ogun State. This one go and campaign in Lagos, you are from Lagos. How far do we want to go before we realize that we have destroyed the country?
Okay, I'd like to ask you, what's your take about Godswill Akpabio in this presidential race?
I did not say anything about Godswill Akpabio, and I don't want to say anything about Godswill Akpabio, please.
Why? But you said something about Udom Emmanuel. Is there anything the case you don't want to
Yes,
say?
because I can judge his capability, and I can openly admit it, and I judge his capability.
So you can't,
why must you force me to say something about anybody I don't want to say anything about?
So you can't judge Godswill Akpabio's capability. That's what you're saying, despite the fact him being your successor.
When you want me to write a thesis on Godswill Akpabio, I will do so to you. But in public, I am not prepared to criticize anybody.
Okay, sir.
Well, sir, okay. One of the major complaints in this process,
please respect that,
is that one of the problems we have is the imposition of candidates. And someone just sent me a message now that I should ask you to comment on that, because before you left office, there was that controversy about you trying to impose a certain candidate of your choice, and that in part, that was what led to the disagreement between you and Senator Godswill Akpabio, who at the time wanted to succeed you. What do you think now, after, in retrospect, years after the fact?
It's not a matter. Let me clarify that very clearly, and once and for all, because I think I've done it before. I have every reason to suggest to Akwa Ibom people that this person I think will make you a good governor. That's not trying to impose. I have every right to suggest to them. And they turn it down. And by turning it down, they now regret it in sackcloth and ashes. Whose fault? But I had pointed out who I thought could make a good governor for them. So, as far as I'm concerned, the imposition will be when you insist and go through all kinds of devious and devious means and devices to make sure that the person you want actually comes and succeeds you. Let me tell you something. At that time, I was campaigning for the presidency of this country. I was out of Akwa Ibom for 3 days prior to the date of the nomination. If I had a strong interest and wanted to impose, I would have been in that hall and I could have succeeded in imposing. But I'm not one to impose. That's why I didn't impose.
Right. Well, I guess some people have to learn the lesson of not heeding your advice. And we hope that all the advice that you've shared this morning will be heeded.
Thank you. Please tell them. Please tell them. Please tell them.
So what do you make of the much vaunted third force that hasn't really, propelled itself to the same prominence as the APC and PDP? Is there still time between now and the next elections for the third force to make a strong showing?
You see, already the people in the press were condemning an attempt by a group to form a third force. Oh, they are disgruntled people. Oh, there are people that couldn't get a ticket from either APC or PDP. So as far as I'm concerned, all that is out of the window, because they were coming into the same system as we are objecting to. So let them come. But when they come, please, tolerate me, let me keep repeating myself. They must come with a different mindset, knowing that Nigeria has reached its elastic limit. But Nigeria will not break. Instead, Nigeria will break them, because they must now begin to do the things that Nigerians want.
All right. We'd like to say a very big thank you so much for your time. Former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Victor Attah, thank you so much for your time, sir.